Hey guys, today we're looking at Bitcoin, Ethereum, and maybe Cardano and a few other coins. It's going to be a quick one today. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on going through a lot of analysis. Just want to have a look at some prices for the weekend. So I think could be a good weekend. So let's get into it. Welcome to Bitcoin Bankers. You can always bank on Bitcoin. Okay, so here we are. We're looking at Bitcoin price. It's still staying in this kind of channel. It's starting to make what I believe is a bit of a bull flag here. It's tried to sort of really push up and work hard about breaking that out. Looking at the stochastic on the 4 hourly, because this is a 4-hour chart, we're moving closer to our junction point, where usually I have noticed over time that once it gets to these junction points, things generally happen in a big way. Might either drop or dump, it depends on the coin. Looking at the stochastic, the buying has kind of run down. Now it's oversold. Now it's starting to move into a point where it's going to start bubbling and working its way back up. So we may not stay in this flag for long. We probably could have another little drop down to here, but I don't know. I think Bitcoin really wants to start taking off early. We're going to have to wait and see how it goes. If we go to a lower time frame, well, I think there's still a bit more selling off to go yet. But like I said, Bitcoin is very eager to reach some new highs. And I think the next high might be around this $66,000 mark. Okay? If she has a nice little pump the next... well, we're going to have to wait for this to run out and run its course. This may just sort of dwindle off 30-minute. Yeah, Bitcoin's pretty eager to take off, but the only problem is that with all this big altcoin surge, is really sucking the energy out of Bitcoin itself. So if you really want Bitcoin to go up, sell most of your shit coins, invest in Bitcoin where it should be, and you'll start to, if we had 1 million people do that, Bitcoin would take off again. I think you'd probably see 80, 90,000. At the moment, it's not doing that. So it's still kind of making sure that it has a good price range to sort of stay in, and just sort of might keep cooling off a little bit, but I don't think it's going to be coming down that much. With a 4 hourly that looks like this, it might take a little bit more time, but I think we could have a good weekend coming up. Okay, looking at Ethereum, yesterday I put the price in to see if we could break this marker here. And if you ever look at my video yesterday, we did break that. We're now sort of hitting the 8 candle. Things are still pretty overbought. We could have a nice big pump here, but I think it might want to just relieve a bit of pressure. I think people are going to maybe take some profit, so we could see it sort of pull back down to around the 24.14. That's not so bad. Maybe a bit slower than we think. This, if it does sort of start to sell off and pull back a bit, I think it'll be a bit slower. I'm just going to come down to this range here. We'll see how we go. But Ethereum looking good. If you have a look at the weekly, again, it's getting stronger. There's plenty of space for Ethereum to continue moving upward. We've got some 3 or 4 nice good candles here. We've got a nice couple of good candles there. Broken the triangle. It's all on a good run there from the weekly. Looking pretty strong, but a lot of things can happen in this range, and we could sort of have a bit of a sell-off and go flatter again and just take a bit longer. But I think, it's lining up for a pretty good move. We could see Ethereum. Let's work on the smaller time frame. Let's see if Ethereum over the next sort of few weeks can break this 2,800 mark. Okay, quite possible, but that would be next target range for the next 2 weeks. Just this sort of area here. This is where you want to sort of see it come up to and maybe get into that range there. Okay, next 2 weeks. Let's have a look on the daily. So on the daily, it's more moving to, it's starting to line up for a bit more of a, you could say it's going to keep buying, but, we know what's coming when it starts getting overbought. It starts pulling back down again. But I think Bitcoin may have a surge over the weekend. Ethereum, maybe not so much. you know. But if Ethereum's kind of fallen back into line with Bitcoin again, they've kind of coupled up again. They kind of broke apart there the last 2 days, but they are starting to come back into line. So Ethereum in the next few days, yeah, you could probably look at taking some profit here. Wouldn't be a bad idea, and then maybe waiting for it to drop back a little bit and see where she lands. You know what I mean? This might be a good area of support, the 24.21. Let's go to Cardano. Cardano looking a bit more bullish, bearish on the 4 hour. I think there's going to be a bit more of a sell-off. She might come down to about this support here, $1.42. Let's have a look in the daily. Again, more overbought sort of area. I actually did swap some of my Cardano out with another coin that I'll tell you about in a minute, just to see how things go. I'm not 100% sure where we could see moves. Cardano does tend to move with Bitcoin a little bit. They kind of do stay in sync. So that's the daily. You know, this could still have a bit more of a surge. Our target is $1.88 US. In Australian dollars, it's already there, but because of the price difference, obvious reasons, we have that difference there. So yeah, there we go. I think it's going to take a bit more time. I think Cardano is going to maybe pull back here a little bit and sort of sit along, because it has broken out of this triangle quite early. So I think it's going to sit along the top here. I don't think it'll break under that, and then we might see another move off at a later date. Still quite a bit early. Maybe next week we might see something more interesting for Cardano there. In the meantime, I think it's probably just going to pull back a little bit and just sort of take its time figuring out where it wants to go. The other coin I was talking about, I think it's XVG. Verge. Okay. So I suppose we use Binance. I think a lot of people use Binance, don't they? Let's go to calculate US dollar. We'll use this one, Bittrex. Okay, so Verge is been having this really nice run up. Nice pullbacks, nice runs, looking really nice and natural. Now starting to maybe move into more of a parabolic range. Just starting to gear up into that. We see the nice 3 candle action there again. Our stochastics looking real, RSI is looking really good there, nice and strong. Starting to move into more of a position of sort of some harder buying, but I think people will still be a little bit more cautious. But while the altcoin rush is going, I think this is maybe the next one to sort of have a bit of a move. We have a look on the 4 hourly. Again, quite a bit of energy there. Big sort of buying in. There's some people making some big purchases there. Don't know how this can sustain itself. If he starts going kind of parabolic, you might see 1 or 2 more candles like that. That'd be good. So I've just done this today, okay, about half an hour ago. If we go to the daily, we had a look at that. Let's go to the weekly. How long will this last? Yeah, it's already sort of had a big move up. We're in a countdown on the weekly, so I think there it goes. It just moved again. There was a nice move there. So looking at that, I think that's a nice little pop, you know. Nice little pop indeed. So we'll have to see where that goes. It could be, you know, maybe. I still think there's quite a bit of energy there. If we go to a lower time frame, I mean, if you made this say a 24-hour trade, looking okay. It's looking okay, you know. It might sort of pop up to about here, and then you can just, you know, take your profits. You know, from there. Let's see what range that is. And this is on a 1 hour candle. So let's say it moves up to 59. Yeah, it's a nice 7% move. Yeah. If you got $1,000 on that, you know, what's that? $70, $75, something like that. I think would that be right? Could even move more, 10%. Yeah, $100 in a few hours. That's all right. It's a little trade. Yeah, maybe half your grocery bill for the week. But if you want to hold it a bit longer, it's a bit tough to see where this might move to at the moment. It's really overbought on a lot of the earlier, the lower time frames here as well. So, but I think on a longer time frame, it's looking pretty nice. We might have a nice little sort of pop up a bit. Okay, so that's something to consider. Just watch that over the next day or two. Throw a small amount in and see how you go. OMG's moving up pretty hard. That's been running pretty good. That's in the 3 hour. Whoops. Let's go to the 4 hour. 4 hour's a bit better. So there's still quite a bit of room there for OMG to move, but we do have a big wick here, so that might, usually when you get these big wicks, they can sort of indicate, like, especially up more the top area, they indicate a bit more of a reversal, a trend change, okay? You can call it an inverted hammer, especially this, and Thor's hammer, starting to knock that price down. So, maybe a bit more space on OMG, so here you go. On the hourly, still quite overbought, just hit a 9, so I might have a bit of a small correction here and see where she goes. On the daily, look, getting a bit tricky, maybe overbought. This is frozen up now by the look of it. Yeah, my trading view is frozen up. Okay, there it goes. Engine, let's see if Engine's going to go anywhere. Yeah, look, it's in a nice pattern. If you're holding it long term, you should be all right. It's looking okay. Longer term, look, we've broken this 13. There's quite a lot of sort of overbought energy there. So it's up to you if you want to keep holding this. You might keep sort of running up to about the top of the wick, and then start working its way back down. So just consider that. I think I might leave it at that, guys. Actually, one other interesting thing I wanted to have a look at was the US S&P and the weekly. Let's go down to the daily. Okay, so we had this yesterday. We had a bit of I'll have to get into 4 hour. So we started having this pullback. Okay, it started to move into like a wonderful candle correction phase, but obviously overnight, maybe the US got a bit excited over Coinbase and some other things that opened up, and bang, just jumped straight back up again, and it looks like it's starting a new cycle, maybe. But you can see there's really overbought here, really overbought. Same with the daily, really overbought. It seems that Wall Street just wants to keep making its profits. It doesn't want to have any relief at this kind of time. It doesn't want the market to cool down. It wants the market to just keep staying in the hot zone and pushing up. But we've reached our 13. Okay, we can keep running up a little bit more, but I think it's more likely that we're going to maybe next week it's going to start sort of having a bit of a sell-off. Thought it was going to happen here, but it's going further. So that's a stock market for you. Australian stock market, well, it's poking along as usual. That's the Aussie market. The old battler. Just keeps going along, push up, have a rest, bit more work, have a rest. So at the moment we've hit our high. It's starting to count down to the 13 in the end of the trend. And we'll see how we go. If you look at the weekly, daily's not always good for stock markets. The weekly's looking a lot stronger. There's still a bit more work there. It's trying to break through this all-time high. Just starting to poke its head above as well. So stock market looking pretty strong there technically. Have a look on the monthly. The weekly and monthly is what you want to look at for these. Still quite a bit more room there. I think let's see if we can get up to maybe 75. I'll make a marker there and let's see what happens. Down the 75 mark. See what happens. See if we can get there. But that's on a monthly scale. If we go back to daily, you can see where that is. Okay. Might just have a little push up there. We'll see how we go. So all in all, looking pretty good. Let's go back to Bitcoin for a minute. Again, looking pretty good. It's overbought on the daily there. But there can still be a lot of excitement and buying in that area. like I said, if we sort of focus our next target on getting to this $65,000 mark, I think we can then start, maybe having a good move up. Might get a bit stronger, but I still think it's going to finish this channel a bit more yet. We're just going to have to wait and see. But like I said, we're coming up to this junction here, and anything can happen when it starts getting to this point. Could break out. The 4 hourly is showing a good sort of momentum here. There's a big wrestle between your bulls and your bears, so we'll have to wait and see what's going on. Quite a bit of volume sort of selling off here. I think they want to stay in that channel a bit longer, and once we get past this 17th, which is after tomorrow, it'll be Saturday Australia time. The fact that it's moving into Sunday, we might have a bit more of a sell-off, come down and then take off. It's just too hard to tell, guys. Anyway, I'm going to leave it at that. It's kind of done a quick cover of the market. It's Friday today, so I want to go and play golf. No, I don't play golf. Anyway, let's leave it at that. And thanks for watching, guys. Please like, please subscribe, do all the usual, share it around, see how you go, and always bank on Bitcoin.